Julian going to get the bad news. That puts back. Wow. 4 would make sense. There we go. That is disgusting. Jakob will call. Hero call. Puts on the cape. And he's now playing 222 million chips almost. Attila raising to $1 million here with ace-7 of hearts, and Pepe going to call in the hijack with pocket threes. Well, Mateus on the button here. Might squeeze it up with ace-9, but because he's in position against 2 players, is just going to call with the ace-9 suited. We've got action here because Mateus with no flush draw. With trips here for Attila. Bet of 800k here from Mateus, and Attila is just going to call, it looks like, setting a trap. Turn is the queen of diamonds. That's 2.2 million here. Mateus with the nut flush. Attila going into check call mode on the flop and now leading on the turn. I think therefore we just call with the nut flush. even if we are on a paired board. The river double pairs, that could be an action killer now. With the full house. Terrible run out here for Matthias. He's just going to go for a check, and Mateus betting 2 million is just going to quickly get snapped off by Attila. So, Johan, you're editing the payouts. Does that mean there is 16 tickets or 8 tickets or 9 tickets? Zima raising on the board with the Jack 7 off suit. Yeah, I think it is right. There's 9. So 9 tickets in the prize pool. 7 tickets were handed out to chip leaders of flight 1A and 1B. Zima betting $1 million here. Flush draw for Peppa. Peppa calls. And there's the 6 of clubs. That goes check, check. And now the 6 of clubs on the turn. King of clubs on the river. Peppa G has to know he can't win with just queen high. But if Zima gives up here, that's exactly what will happen. Let's see what Peppa does. Just going to have to fold. If there's a bet, surely. And Zima has to know he can't win with just jack high also. He blocks the straight with the 7. Looks like he's going for a large size and a 4 mil. Wow. Peppa calls him off. That's incredible. That's an insanely good call there by Peppa. Nana Harris says WTF. Yep. I think hijack against the big blind here. King Jack just wants to be re-jamming off this stack depth. Again, honestly, KZR played normal. It's totally fine to call here, don't get me wrong. I just think it plays better against hijack open as a rejam. Does call. Top two for Alex. Pretty interesting turn card. Just a flush on board now. Complete some straights, complete some better two pairs. If you're Alex. And Lakov is going to bet 1.2. I think we just have a mandatory call now with the two pair. Looks like he's going to raise to try protect his two pair additional value. It is a small enough sizing. Raising 2.8. Does have the queen of spades as well, which makes it less likely that his opponent would have a flush. But Jakob is having none of it, and I was not expecting to see this. He's 3 bets on the turn here to 6 million. And now I don't know what you do if you're Alex. Hard to continue here with just two pair if you're Alex. You've raised to get information. He's come back over the top. ECW says, this is poker, Dan. Wow. It looks like we're going to see it all go in here. Like, at this point, if I'm Jakob, I'm just getting rid of my two pair. He's got, I don't know what I'm making this. It looks like they're going to have way stronger hands than they have. Jakob is going to stack off. Going to take a massive chunk of Alex's chips. As Alex hits the river. Here's the river. It's the deuce of clubs. Jakob going to win a huge pot. Once he'd applied the pressure on the turn, he's got to do something on the river. It's only 4 million behind, I think. But he still have chunks left, so let's get that straight. I thought it was for about a third of his stack on the river there, the bet. Just was not. Vervalan said the guy who was doing commentary will know it. I haven't seen Kevin De Bruyne on this table at all. I don't have any information about the outer table, just the feature table itself. He's raising the 1.6. He's king off suit. Shoeing the hijack, king jack of clubs. Oh, Johan asked me. Yeah, the comms are in Ireland. Hence the Irish accent. Now he's just going to rip. And this could be disastrous because Zimmer's going to be calling him here and Ivan's going to be in a lot of trouble. This could put Ivan back down to 11 bigs. Queen 6 deuces the flop, 1 diamond. And it's the 7 of diamonds. Ivan needs a flush on this river for a jack. It is a jack! Wow. That is disgusting. Zima has got rivered in a golden spot for him to double up and take a chunk of chips away from Ivan. But instead, Ivan hits the river, eliminates a player. Here's a nice hand for Almasi. Under the gun +1. We seen him limp with hands like queens earlier when he had closer to 40 bigs. Now, oh wow, Mario is going to be licking his chops here. Almasi opening to 2.5 million. Mario with the kings of kings. It's a 3-bet to 6 million, and Almasi not going to love this. I don't know what he's meant to do with tens here. He might think Mario is 3-bet folding here sometime. Oh wow, a Kazaku on the button with ace king suited. We've got action. Kazaku 4-betting to 12 million, and this will surely save Almasi. Elevated team says, here we go, boys. Nice to have you with us, Elevated team, just in time. This is massive for Mario. Almasi going for it here. Was not expecting to see Almasi do this with pocket tens. Surely that was his moment to get rid of them. And now Kazaku is going to be able to get away from his ace-king once Mario comes over the top. This is insane. Mario has 2 all-ins in front of him. We haven't seen many hands like this all day. Granted, coolers like this are rare, but this is action-packed. The ace-king has to go into the muck. And now, unbelievable situation here for Mario. Jack 8-6 is the flop. Just one out for Attila Almasi. This could be the last hand of the night. I thought this would go on for quite some time yet. Turn is the 4 of clubs. Just one out in the deck for Almasi as we hit the river. Look at the size of this pot, 63.6 million. This is going to make Mario your chip leader. It is the 9 of clubs, and that is going to do it, folks. Massey has been eliminated in 9th place, taking home €34,021 and a 10k ticket to the WSOP. We have our final 8. Golden opportunity here for Ivan to rejam with the Jabracadas. But looks like he just wants to pick one off here in the big, considering it's an under the gun open. I would have expected to see him just rejam. Perhaps his hand is just so strong, wants to get value from it post flop. We might see Mihai lose his entire stack here, or most of it. Both players with an overpair on the 8-4 deuce rainbow board. Ivan will just call. Ivan addiction. That is disgusting. Got a feel for Ivan here. 9 of clubs rolling off on the turn. And I don't see any way Ivan is getting away from his hand. Mihai just wants to bet a small amount that sets up a river jam. Something like 4 million, 3.5 million even. 4.2 million seems like the bet. He's gone for 4.7. Does call. The river is a brick. 3 of hearts. Ivan checks, and I don't see any ways check folding here. He's just going to be forced to check, call it off. One thing I will say about having jacks here, when the 8 and the 9 are out there, we block a lot of straight draws we would want our opponent to have. With 24 million in the pot, he just wants to move all in. I don't want to see him bet something like 6.5 mil, 7 mil. It's just a shove. Yes, Ivan could have a hand like ace-5, but we're letting our opponent get away when he does have an 8 or a 9. He's not going to have much 9x, but Ivan lucky to still be in this tournament, even though he was just super unlucky with that turn card. Mihai now playing 54.2 million, and Ivan down to 6 bigs, 10.3. I was sure we would see Ivan go broke there. Kings for Adrian. Going for the full 3x sizing. Julien is going to call with the Jack 10 off suit and the big. Look at this, he flops 2 pair. Goes for a check. Bet a 5.5 million. Look at this. Adrian going for a huge jam, getting called. 104 million in this pot. This escalated quickly. Julien a 2-1 favorite to have chunks. Turn is the 6 of hearts. And the river is the Queen of Spades. Adrian Kazaku losing a chunk of chips, will only have 13 big blinds remaining now. Mihai going to call for 4.6 million more with King 6 offsuit against the King Deuce of Julien. Oh wow, comes King 6-5. Both players with top pair, but Mihai has 2 pair is the issue. Ace of clubs hits the turn. A check from Julien now. This pot with 27.3 million. $12.5 million is the bet. So 12.5 million is the bet, 12.5 million is the call. This pot's very big as we hit the river, and look at this. 2 pair for both players. Mihai going to get a large double up. Julien, after all his hard work. Mihai not going to be able to fold this one. Yeah, he does. Call. Julien going to get the bad news. That puts back Mihai in the lead. Ace King suited for Jakob in the big. Makes it 10 million to go. Five, 4, 4 is the flop. $11 million is the bet on the turn, 11 million is the call. This pot now 45 million as we hit the river, 10 of diamonds rolls off. That looks like 35 million is the bet. I'm not sure what he's really repping here, and I wouldn't be shocked to see a call. Jakob can beat a lot of the ace highs that would barrel, not ace 3 of course. Do you think he's going to call this one? It really looks like his body language is indicating towards calling over folding. All vote now in the chat. Over 2 minutes in the tank. Would be a hero call, but it makes sense. I don't know how much value hands Mihai has when he plays it like this, and hard for him to have a lot of 5x or deuce x or 4 would make sense. There we go. Jakob will call. Hero call, puts on the cape, and he's now playing 222 million chips almost. Incredible.